imagine the white women that
strippers.
came up to him going like, I'm going to make my daddy mad. And I'm going to do it with the #1 black guy in the country. Dude, you have to be a strong man to say no to that.
Hey, maybe that might have been why they got murdered. I'm just saying.
He just fucked the CIA's daughter.
He fucked the wrong white girl. Episode 8, Tony Casillas, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Cheers.
Cheers.
I like this setup. It's a very manly podcast setup. We got the cup chair producer watching us. He has no mic. He's just watching the conversation, getting aroused in the corner. Look at him smiling. I like his face. It's nice.
Yeah.
What made you want to bring him in the room just in case someone gets out of hand?
He's my Jamie.
Okay.
Or my Brock. He's my Grok, basically. He's my little AI.
Oh.
That's Brock.
You took AI, put him in like a silicon body.
Exactly.
So
yeah, he's got the chip. He's got that Neuralink in his mind.
When he lies, he gets
he
gets erect.
you already heard about that?
I can tell. Look at him. He's already lying over there. The laptop keeps getting higher and higher.
If you haven't guessed it, this is our first comedian on the Shawn Johnson & Co. podcast. Tony Casillas is he's already been in the game for how many years?
It's like 8 years now.
8 years. So he's becoming like a seasoned veteran in the comedy game. He does stand up. He works at the Mothership, Joe Rogan's new club in Austin. He's been on the Kill Tony, right? You've been, how many times did you
Twice.
Twice.
I did it like when I was 2 years in Dallas. And then when they first moved down to Austin, I did it when they were at the what's that, the rock venue at on 5th Street what's that club called?
What's that?
The rock venue on 5th Street where they did Kill Tony for like the first 6 months.
Oh, Vulcan.
No, the one right before. Antone's.
Oh,
so I did an episode there
Jazz.
when they first moved there, the Jazz.
Yeah.
Is it jazz? It's rock.
Well, it's like a combination of all of it, but
just because the black artist doesn't mean it's just jazz.
I think Joe just posted a song from him, like not even 30 minutes ago.
Have you ever been to Antone's?
Yeah,
it's the coolest, I think, venue in Austin. Just that old school.
So when did you get to Austin?
I got here 3 years now, maybe even 4.
3 years, 4 years.
Right when COVID was opening up like the restrictions in Texas. Because I had a place, me and my roommate were going to move to LA. We had a place already signed for, and then COVID hit. And we're like, oh, it's only 2 weeks. We're chilling out. We just had 2 weeks of fun. And then when it became 2, 3, 4, 5 months, we're like, we're not going to move to LA just to pay crazy rent and just sit and go broke out there.
Yeah.
So we got out of the lease, thank God. And then
where was your lease?
We were living in West Hollywood. We found like a place near like where the store was going to be, where the store, we're going to be right in the mix of it. And then COVID hit, and then you heard rumblings of like Joe moving down here, and he was talking about we're going to build a club and start our own scene. And I was like, I'm a Texas guy. I love Texas. I grew up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. And even if it doesn't work out, even if he decided to just move here to his own thing, I was like, oh, I'll go fuck around for like a year or two. When LA opens back up, I'll just fly out there when it's up and rolling again. And then this place just got crazy, and I was like, there's no need.
So what happened in LA when the shutdown started happening as far as comedy? Because I know here in Texas,
because in Dallas, I was in Dallas.
Oh, you were in Dallas.
Yeah, so I started comedy in Dallas. Okay. And we were planning on making the LA move. I was going to try to get in at the store.
Did you ever perform out there though?
I did like twice, and it was fine. I don't know. I think when you start comedy out here, I kind of love it because you have Dallas, which is kind of like uppity, white liberal. But even in Dallas, then you have black rooms, you have Hispanic rooms, even in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah. So like you have like the Arlington Improv is a black room. And as a young white kid from the suburbs, fucking learning how to kill in that room, that's like a fun, it's the most nerve-wracking thing as a nerdy white comic to go in front of all black audience, because if you bomb, they're gonna let you know, and if you're killing, they're gonna let you know. It's the highest kill, but it's also the lowest bomb, because they're not just gonna sit there quiet, polite like white people. They're gonna be like, they're gonna shout shit out. Oh, no one likes you, white boy. Like
no shit.
Yeah, but it makes you stronger. So you had that in Dallas, but then you had like Laredo, where I would go to like Laredo, I would go border towns, do stand up, and
they
then
stab you if you do a bad job out there.
Yeah, honestly, Mexicans like me, dude. Mexicans are like my top fan. The amount of times I've done gigs where it's like big cholo looking guys with just gold going like, "Hey bro, can we get like a selfie?" Like, you just like say it how it is and shit. I'm like, all right, yeah, fellas, let's do it. It's like, I don't know why they relate with me, but I think it's just a shit talk culture, and I like to make fun of everybody on stage. So I think they're like, oh, these white guys cool as shit. It's like I'm not picking side. I'm not trying to. I'm gonna shit on you if you're acting up. I'm gonna shit on them if they're acting up. I don't. But that's why I love Texas, because then you'd go to Houston, which would be a totally different vibe. San Antonio. So I was like, man, I wish Texas had something to let us stay here, but there was really no industry. There was really no
spot.
Yeah, there was like a ceiling you could hit, and I felt like in Dallas, I hit that ceiling where I was like, I'm working all the clubs, I'm featuring at most of the clubs, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to get stuck here. And then when this happened, I was like, fuck, the ceiling just rose another 150 levels. So
you got here before Joe got here?
No, Joe had moved here, and I moved here like after Tony moved here, after the Kill Tony moved. So like 2 weeks, because that's when I knew, oh, okay, it's not just Joe. Because I think if it was just like maybe one guy moves here, I'll just do like a residency, it'll be my thing, you know what I mean? But then once I saw like Tony move here and then Brian Simpson move here, I was like, oh, like some really good comedians are moving here. This is how a scene gets started, because you need established guys, because without them, you're just not selling tickets.
And so how does that work for like a young aspiring comedian, say you 10 years ago? All right. You're just trying to break into the scene. Nobody knows who you are except your local friends. Like, what do you just start following them, and you just start they just all moved over here, let me go over there, and just kind of get your way in? Like, what does that look like for a very young comedian and trying to get into the scene?
Dude, I was kind of lucky, because I was in college and I was working on our late night TV show. We had like a kind of like a Conan O'Brien style TV show at my college. And I was the head writer my senior year. And I had just gotten dumped. And me and my buddy Nick Fields, who's a funny comic, he lives out in New York now. I just gotten dumped, and I was being depressed and sad. And we're working on like some little package for the show. And he goes, hey man, you've always talked about wanting to do stand-up. I really think now is the time to do it, because we're gonna graduate in 6 months. You had this whole life planned, and now that's not gonna happen. So why not try this out? If you like it, this might give you direction now that you're looking for a new direction in life. So that week I just went out to the open mic at Hyenas. I got there at like 7:30 to sign up, and then get on stage until like 1:20 a.m. and just sat there. I did that every Wednesday for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then I would do like 3 or 4 other mics during the week. But yeah, just to get in that club, I was like, that's the club. I want to try to get in there.
What does that feel the first night? Your name's on the list. You know it's your turn coming. You just said you got there at 7:30, but you didn't go on until what, 6 hours later?
6 hours later. It's crazy, because you get there and you're like, you're like, oh my God, these guys all must be like amazing and professionals. Because then the first 2 blocks go up, because it would be in blocks. Like first block, I was like block 8. So the first blocks, it's all the working Dallas comics. And you're like, whoa, these guys are amazing. And there's like 70 people in the crowd just crushing. And you're like, man, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to be awful. Why even try this? And then you get to like block 5 or 6. And that's when like the pseudo drug addicts and homeless people start going up. You know, there's like 8 people in the crowd and they're just rambling nonsense. And you're just like, oh, I can do this. I think I can do better than the homeless guy. Like, I literally watched a guy come up from underneath the train tracks. There was a train next to the club. He came under the train tracks to sign up for the mic. And after a set, he'd go back under.
What?
Yeah. And he was, for the first 2 months of comedy, he was on a better spot than I was. And I was like, I need to get at least, my one goal is to just at least get a better spot than that guy.
Wow. But, underneath the train track, what do they got underneath there?
There was just like a little, so it was like a bridge. So the train tracks, there was like a little bridge, but he lived underneath, next to the club. But he was on block like 7, and I'm block 8, and I'm like, I gotta get better at least than him. And
you just rolled out of bed and came upstairs.
He signed up just to go right back under his bridge for 3 hours until he has to go up. But no, I remember, going up at 120. There was like 3 people left in the crowd, and I got like a chuckle, and I was like, okay, that felt good. Got one chuckle, and it was cool. And then that night it was cool too, because I met my buddy Daniel Magden. I met my buddy Javoris James. Like, those are one's in New York and one's still in Dallas, but like those are buddies for life. And I remember just sitting there waiting for hours and hours, going from like nervous to like, should we just go home, to nervous again, to like, man, what are we going to do? Is this even worth it, to sticking through it, and then watching each other, and then that car ride home, you know, getting fucking fast food on the drive home, and just talking about each other's sets and how awesome it was, even though we just performed in front of 3 people. It was, it was cool.
That's awesome. It's awesome to hear that story, because I started reading Steve Martin's Born Standing Up. Yeah. You read that? And you know, he talks about like starting off, he wanted to be a magician, and he realized, you know, he was entertaining the crowd, but he was really more entertaining them with his comedy, not so much the magic side of it. And there was like a ceiling to the magic, right? You can only do so much without a bankroll behind you to afford the bigger, more expensive tricks. And so, you know, that's kind of like how he rolled into this, and he goes through all the different phases of life. But he, you know, the best part of the book is when he's young and he's talking about, you know, trying to figure this out, and kind of like the science behind coming up with jokes. And it's a lot of stuff for us as the viewers, the crowd. We're just there to laugh. If you make us laugh, we laugh and we clap. But for you guys, it's really like, this is a grind. This is a day in or night in, night out kind of a grind. And, you know, from being around that arena for the last 5 years, I've noticed that, you know, like your schedules you're on graveyard shift.
It's crazy.
And it is a job. It's, you know, these people show up every single day, and it's like when they get up on stage, you know, it'd be like if I worked at Home Depot and I'm working, this is my 5th day in a row I've worked there, and I got to show up at Home Depot and I got to jump around and make people laugh. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's still a job, but your job happens to be making people have a great night. And
it's crazy seeing, I don't know if you've seen it, but like when people are about to go up and maybe they're having like a rough day, and they're just like, man, I don't really want to go up. And blah, blah. But then right when their name gets called, hey, how's it going? It's that's the job, is the having to be in the moment of maybe making them, you know, hey, I know fucking life sucked today, but I got to go up there and fucking give them a show. They paid $40. That's one thing I think I've had like I don't know. Because do you remember when like one of the first live shows you've seen and the artist kind of phoned it in and how it made you feel? Like I remember going to see some concert. I don't remember. I think it was Jared Leto's band. What's it called? I
didn't even know he had
3 Days Grace or something. But it was like a rock festival in San Antonio, and he just went up hammered. And he just phoned it in, and it was like just awful. And I remember just sitting there just going like, I'm like a sophomore in high school, and I'm just like, dude, fuck you. Like, you know, we paid $40 to be here, parking. Like, I'm here for Weezer, but you're still a part of the show. Like, and to me, I think after that, it's always been like instilled in me, like, no matter how I feel, the crowd is going to get a show. Even if they hate me, or if I'm bombing, I'm going to put on the face. You know, I might make fun of them. I might, you know, Tesla around, but I'm never going to show up like drunk or like too fucked up where I can't give them at least the best of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm curious too. So the other day we were at the mothership, and one of the comedians, we were laughing because they were like on acid.
Oh yeah.
And so like he comes off stage and he's like, "Whoa, that was awesome!" And he's like way more talkative than he normally is, you know. And it's just like he was having the time of his life. And then he talked to us for a few minutes, and then he like walked off. And then the other girl's another comedian. She's like, "I don't know how the fuck he does that. He does it all the damn time. He's on fucking acid, and like full on acid trip, and he's fucking on stage like murdering." But
that's the difference. He knows,
no paranoia.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but that guy has a talent where he almost opens up more. So when it's like a comic like that can like open up more and be a little bit more free.
How so?
I think, I don't know. I think when he goes up on acid, he just, where I think most people would get scared and go, oh my God, people are judging me. He almost has a like, oh, you guys are all just warped little silly little animals. Who gives a shit? I'm just going to say whatever. So to him, it makes him more open. So when I watch him, I'm like, oh, this is funny. But if I did that, I know for a fact I would probably do 3 minutes and then I'd go, all right, that's my time. Have a good night. And then just get off. Like what was it? It was like 3 weeks ago. I thought I took a 5 milligram edible. I like taking like a little one. So I take the edible. I'm driving downtown from my spot and I park my car and I'm like, I'm high. I'm like high. Like, and not like a 5 milligram. I'm like, and I look at the box and I had accidentally grabbed the 50 milligram edibles and not my 5s. The ones I take to go to bed that I eat half of. So I'm like, oh shit, I have a spot in 45 minutes. I'm hosting the Sunday show in Fat Man. So I literally am just in the green room, just waiting to go up, just like, fuck. And I go out, I do a set. Dude, at one point they laughed and I got scared. Like I got a big laugh and I was like, fuck. Yeah, I got like scared. I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't read the clock. It was like warped. And then I saw the blue light that says, hey, you only have 2 minutes left.
Oh boy.
I was like, thank God. It was like a sign of God going like, you're almost home.
Were the jokes hitting though?
Jokes were hitting. But I was like, I don't know if they know I'm high. The whole time I'm in my head. I couldn't be free. Where, you know, when I'm like sober or I have like one drink in me, I can be a little bit more loose. I can talk to the crowd. I can go, oh, this joke is killing. Let me just add on to it. Let me see how far I can take it.
You were just like, get me the fuck out of here as quick as possible.
I was literally just
use what works.
Joke for joke. Yeah. It was very like my late night set. Just we're going punchline to punchline to punchline. Where the other comic, I'm envious of it. He can go up and just be free and it works. Where I think you just have to know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
As a performer. It's crazy.
So on that subject, what's your worst bomb?
My worst bomb, I actually told this story to a friend the other day. We were talking about it. But I was maybe a year and a half in, and I'm working as the front desk at the Hyenas Plano location. They had just opened a new club. The manager's like, hey, we need a guy to work the front desk. You know, it could be a cool opportunity. You know, we'll throw you guest spots here and there. You can make some extra money on weekends. I was like, yeah, cool.
And this is Hyenas is a strictly comedy club?
Comedy club,
okay.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, sure. So what was it? It was like 10 minutes before showtime. Sold out crowd, 300 people. Prior to that, I've maybe performed in front of 30 people max, maybe done like 7 minutes. This is 300 people, sold out room, weekend show, Friday night. And they said, hey, the host, his car broke down. He's going to miss the first show. They're like, you're going up, you're doing 15. And at that point, I have maybe 8 minutes. I go, okay, we'll just take it slow. We'll riff. Hey, maybe I'll think of 8 minutes on the spot. Maybe I'll become a genius. So I go up and I do my best joke up top and it gets nothing.
Oh no.
In my mind, I was like, that was my best joke.
Oh no.
And if that got nothing, it's just downhill from here. And so I do my next joke, nothing. And I was wearing a light blue shirt, like a button up with slacks. The light blue is dark blue now from all the sweat. About 4 or 5 minutes in.
Oh no.
And I'm just up there just eating it. And It was the funniest part was at one point about maybe 5-6 minutes, this lady 4 rows back, she wasn't trying to be an asshole. She was just an older lady. She goes, "I want to laugh. He's just not funny," which causes 300 people because it's silent. They all hear it and they laugh. And I go, "Ma'am, you just got the biggest laugh of the night. Do you want to come up and do my last 10 minutes? Because honestly, you seem like a better comedian than me." And then that got a laugh. I was like, okay, maybe I won him over. And then I bombed for 10 more minutes. And I got off stage, dude, and I was out front, and I just started chain smoking cigarettes. And then the feature act of that night, Lawrence Rosales, comes up to me, and he goes, "That was bad." And I was like, "Yeah, that was awful." And he was like the established guy. He was a guy I looked up to. He was like 6-7 years in already. He's a great comic. He's like, "That was like awful." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, you want to quit, don't you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I never want to do that again." He goes, you should probably quit. Or just tonight before you go to bed, listen to that audio recording, figure out what you did wrong, and work on those jokes. There's good stuff in there. It's that the jokes are bad now, but there's good stuff in there. You could quit, or you could just listen back and make it better, and next time you come through, see what happens. And yeah, I stuck with it, but I literally thought about just putting in my 2 weeks at the club and just going like, yeah, I'm never going to go up again.
Yeah, I think 99% of people would.
Dude, it's that feeling of, because the thing is, and that's what I kind of like about black audiences more, because at least they'll shit talk back.
Yeah.
White crowds, they just
judge you.
Quiet. they just look at you.
Little judgy eyes.
Dude, they just look at you, the arms crossed, and they're like, "I could have been fucking my babysitter, but instead I brought my wife out to see this. You piece of shit." And dude, that silence when you're in it, it is the worst feeling. And dude, honestly, I don't wish it to anybody, even my worst enemy, that feeling. But it does make you stronger. And the cool thing is, the more you go through it, the more you realize it's not that bad. Because like 2 years ago, I bombed at a theater, and now it's almost like a blessing where I'm just like, I was in the pocket. I still had fun. I was like, I'm not going to let this crowd affect me. Yeah. And I was still having fun. So the more bombs you get, the more comfortable you get with it, and you realize this isn't the worst thing ever.
Sometimes it's just a weird chemistry in the crowd too. Like I've noticed that. It's like, I mean, I've seen comedians on their best day giving their best material, and the crowd's just doesn't want to hear it. Like sometimes it's just weird, awkward silence, and it's like everybody's afraid to be the one that laughs loud. Yeah. Like it's just weird vibes in the crowd, and it's just like, I don't know what the fuck.
I think it's like pre-show. It's like, I think it's when like people come together as a group. Yeah. The energies they're all putting out. You can always tell what's going to be a banger show is if before the show's starting and you just hear people chatting and there's like an energy in the room. You're like, oh, this is about to be sick. Yeah. Versus if you walk into a showroom and everybody's just kind of like looking around and, you know, maybe bobbing their head a little, kind of talking. You're like, okay, this might be a little bit more of a tepid crowd. It's all about energy and
wherever the moon is in its cycle during the month, basically.
It really is. Dude, I've told crowds before, I go, you guys as a group should never meet again. It's crazy how it's such a group effort. If someone has like a pocket has a bad energy, it does affect the rest of the crowd.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
Especially if it's up front too, I think. I think that's the worst.
They're just looking. Oh.
How old were you when you realized you wanted to be a comedian?
I probably in high school. I did a talent show. I did one time at a talent show in high school. Got second place. It went well, but it was all just roasting the teachers and stuff. So that it was kind of like a cheat code. But I don't know. I always felt I was like going to be a behind the camera guy. I don't know. Because I always felt, because I remember when I went to college, I knew how to like pitch a script. You know, I knew how to work a writer's room. Because I auditioned to be the host of that late night show, and they're like, you're funny, but you don't have charisma like this guy, and this guy has more charisma, and that kind of instantly made me feel like, oh, I'm just going to be more of the behind the scenes kind of guy. And And then when I just started doing it, it just made me realize, no, I think I can be in front of the camera guy. I think it's just doubt. I think there was just doubt.
Yeah.
Of like, how many people make it in front of the camera.
Yeah.
More people make it behind the camera. So it's like, this is already a tough business to get into. So at least I'm going to take the easy route in the hard business.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of maybe just told myself like, oh, you're not going to make it in front of the camera. Just, just be like a more grunt worker, like work on the jokes for the stars, or, work as like a PA, or work as a lighting guy or a camera guy.
And when did that switch? When did that switch from you thinking I'm going to be the guy behind the camera instead of the guy in front?
I think maybe like 2 years into stand-up when I did a show, and it was like one of those, it was like a transformational set in the moment where for like 15 minutes I had where it's like, oh, I had this crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I think I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to try to fully pursue being the guy.
Mm.
Which I think that most people deal with that. It's like, I don't think most people think they can play in the NFL until they have that game maybe in like middle school where they're the best player on the field. And that was me. Like, I was the best comic on that show, where afterwards people were coming up to me like, you were funny, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that moment kind of sparked like, oh,
maybe there's something.
I have the potential to go that next level.
Was there ever any like comedians, like who was your idols like growing up?
I love Brian Regan. I think he's on my Mount Rushmore. He's the best. If you've never seen Brian Regan, he's clean, but you would never know he's clean because his jokes are just so good. I would say early Dave Chappelle, I watched like Killing Him Softly, I think might be the best special, hands down. Cat Williams, I love. I would go. Who else? I really loved Richard. Richard Pryor to me is my number one, just because, especially live from the Sunset Strip, because he's talking about his lowest points in life, like setting himself on fire while being addicted to crack cocaine, and like to me, I was like, because I don't know if because you were in the military, but did you grow up in a military household?
No.
So I grew up, my dad went to West Point. My family is very proper. We were always told like keep your like negative story, like keep it in the family. You don't want to tell people like what you're going through or your flaws. We're trying to show the world we're a good family. We're a perfect family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So watching a guy like Richard Pryor, who was at the top of his game, but in real life, he's setting himself on fire. He's addicted to crack. He's sleeping with prostitutes. And being able to make it funny and relatable, I was like, I fuck with this guy. Where the outside would look at him and be like, oh, he must live in a perfect life. And he's like, hey, man, I'm still dealing with some shit. And this is what I'm dealing with. And to me, I always thought that was like brilliant.
That is amazing. You were almost describing Martin Luther King there for a second.
Yeah.
Did you read those Martin Luther King files they released?
No.
You didn't read any of that?
What were they saying?
Bro, Martin Luther King was not the saint we all thought he was.
Yeah, I bet.
This dude was like banging hookers. He would have prostitutes, male prostitutes showing up to his parties. Yeah, he was banging his boys, his buddies' wives, multiple of them. Like, Martin Luther King was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah.
And there's streets named after him.
But yeah, dude,
but that goes right in line with Epstein, so we'll get to that.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah. Yeah, he's a human. That's, I think, the problem what we do as a society. We look at a guy, because what Martin Luther King did, he did a lot of good stuff. But like once someone does something extraordinary, we think, oh,
they must be a saint. Yeah.
They can never do anything human.
Yeah.
So like to me, I honestly kind of respect that.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, imagine you're Martin Luther King.
The dude party.
Women are throwing themselves at you.
The dude party. I guess. Yeah. They were talking about tables, like they would get together and just tables with all sorts of booze.
Dude, imagine the white women that came up to him. going like, I'm going to make my daddy mad. And I'm going to do it with the #1 black guy in the country. Dude, you have to be a strong man to say no to that.
Hey, maybe that might have been why they got murdered. I'm just saying.
He just fucked the CIA's daughter.
He fucked the wrong white girl.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's why I really loved like Richard. To me, I was like, this guy doesn't hide his flaws, where you see a lot of like, I think celebrities, once they hit a certain point, they try to become, oh, I'm better than all of you, where Richard was never that. He had the TV shows, he was in movies, he had the house, he had the cars, he had the women, and he was just like, hey man, I fuck up just like you.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. Just raw, just real.
Yeah, just real.
Yeah. Steve Martin was saying in that book I read, he said that when he spent his whole life trying to get to the top, and when he got there, he said it was the loneliest time of his life.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy, because you think like you all the money, all the fame, all the love, all the fans. He would do 45,000 packed concerts. He was the #1 concert selling out comedian in the world at one point. Like, he was massive. And he said once he got there, it was the loneliest point of his life, because everywhere he went, he couldn't go anywhere in public anymore. Like, it was like everybody wanted to come up to him. He said the weirdest part was that people would come up to him and everybody was looking at him as if they'd known him their whole lives. Yeah. And he's like, I have no idea who these people are. Yeah. And he's like, he goes, for me, he said, like, in private with my friends, I was very outgoing, and on stage, I'm very outgoing. But in public, I'm very private. I'm almost an introvert in public. And so he said he couldn't never pretend. Like, if somebody's coming up to him, he doesn't know the guy, and the guy's like, I love you, Steve Martin, I love that one thing and he's just like I don't know you, I can't pretend that we're friends.
It's so weird, because I don't get it, and I can't relate to Steve Martin, but I'll get it occasionally, especially because Austin's such a small city when it comes to major cities. Like, I'll be out occasionally, like at a bar, someone will come up like, hey man, we just saw you the other night. Like, it is a weird, and I get it at such a small level. Like, I can't imagine that of every day when you go out or every store you go, people want to talk to you about them or like how you affected. So that's why I kind of love what Joe built with the Mothership, though, is because I think you had that with the store, where you see guys like Cam Patterson, who's like, he's about to be a movie star. He's in a Kevin Hart movie now. The dude's about to just rocket to the
He's in a Kevin Hart movie?
Yeah. Whoa. He's shooting it now. But he's about to like rocket to the next level, where anytime he comes back to the Mothership and we're hanging out in like Mitzi's or the green room, that's Cam. And we're shit talking, and he'll say something and we're not like, and we're making fun of what he just said. We're having debates. We're arguing. We're going back and forth, which I think that's what's special about that club. The Mothership is like, if you do reach that level, you always have that place to come back to, to be a human, where I think a lot of those guys,
your hometown kind of feeling.
They didn't have that. Yeah. Where once they got shut out, they were just like, who are my friends? Who can I trust? Yeah. Who, everybody, like you said, everybody just wants to talk to me. They're all going to be agreeable to me. Yeah. Where having like a place that knew you before is always important.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. He said it's a precarious position to be in when you get really famous, because you've worked so hard to get to this moment in your life. And then once you get there, you're working so much that you're exhausted, but you can't not work, because you'd be letting the younger version of yourself down. You know what I mean? It's like, I've worked too hard to get here. Now I'm here, and I would be doing a disservice to all the other people around me that are working. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? So he's like, you have to do it, but you don't want to do it. You're tired. You can't go out. You don't have your friends anymore because you're on the road so much. And he goes, and then even when, he's like, I would do an hour and a half. He goes, then I would get in a car, my security would take me home. They take me up to my room, and then I'd swipe my key card, and I was in a private empty room. Yeah. For the whole night. And then the next day we would do it again, and then again, and just different towns, but doing the same routine. And he's like, I've never been more alone in my entire life. Oh, yeah. And so he's like, I went from a life of not having enough fame to having way too much fame. And now that he's kind of like receded back down into, he's like, now I have just the right amount of fame.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. It is a lonely, because it is crazy. Because you start off, because when you start comedy, you're going to open mics with your friends. You're meeting up places. You're going to dinner, and then like everybody's career kind of moves in different ways. Like, couple of us start hitting the road more, where some of us, they're still working on getting on the road and and then eventually you go, oh cool, me and my buddy Lawrence are going on the road together, to doing that for a year and a half, to now, oh no, we're just booking you, Tony, and Lawrence is going to a different club, so now I'm going to the hotel by myself. You know, and that it does suck. Honestly, I think the best time in comedy was like the first few years, because it was, we had no idea on how to make money, or how we literally did it to make each other laugh, make the crowd laugh. And the more it becomes a job, the more it does become isolating, because it's like, yeah, I'm getting hit up for a gig, you know, where before I would like, we would hit up a bar and be like, hey, I'm going to bring me and my 3 best friends, and we're going to do a show for you guys. Sure, here's $200 for all of you. Where now it's like, hey, we'll pay you $800 just for you. I'm like, can I bring a friend? It's not really in the budget. And you're like, oh, okay, sure, I'll go do the gig.
yeah, you can't turn down money, I guess.
Yeah, of course. But then you're in a hotel room alone. It's kind of like that feeling, but I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
Have you tried to get into any sort of like, you know, SNL or any TV opportunities?
I've auditioned. I got a manager last year, so I send in a couple auditions every month. But SNL, SNL seems too much of a day job to me. Where when it comes to like a movie or something, it's cool because it's 2 months and then there's an end. Where SNL, it seems like I don't want to be trapped. The reason I became an artist and a stand-up comic is I love I get to make my own choices.
Freedom.
Yeah, the freedom. And network TV just doesn't really, I don't think I would jive with network TV. I'm not saying I'm a very offensive comic. I do cross the line sometimes, but I don't do it on purpose. If I find it funny, I'm going to cross that line.
Right.
But it's not, I don't try to cross the line just because. But yeah, the idea of going on the show like SNL, I just don't think we'd be a fit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I would rather just make my own version of that if I ever got the opportunity. Like I have sketches written, and SNL is has a fucked up thing I don't think a lot of people know, is when you submit a packet in the contract, because I've gotten offered to submit a packet to SNL. In the contract, it says, even if we don't hire you, we have the right to use any of the sketches you submitted for no pay. So to me, the idea of like, oh, I'm going to give my ideas to you, and then you're not even going to give me $300 for the sketch you use, you can go fuck yourself.
The fuck?
Yeah. That's a real thing.
So it's in their best interest to interview as many fucking comics and get as free content as they can. That's fucking...
No, a comic called it out from like 2 years ago, a comic that opened for Theo Von. And he showed the sketch. He shot the sketch and showed SNL's version, and it was the exact same sketch.
Wow.
It's like, I submitted it, and in the packet it says they could use it. They didn't even send me a rejection saying, hey, we're not going to use it. We're not going to take you, but we're going to use your sketch. Thank you. They just took it and used it. So to me, like, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just like, I don't really want to work with people like that.
Is it necessary? Yeah. You got enough going on in your comedy career.
No, it would help. My thing is just like, I find that so just scummy.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you're going to do that to your fellow comedian, like, you're going to do that if I get hired there too.
Well, that just tells you right there. Like, if you're having to do that, your staff on hand, your comedians on hand, and your writers on hand are not good enough. You need to go find some better ones.
Yeah. Or my thing is like, put in the contract, like, if we pick your sketch, we'll give you $1,200.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least give you credit for it.
Credit? No, dude, give me $1,200, some credit.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll let you visit for the weekend. You get to see the taping or whatever. Sure, whatever. Yeah. But like that kind of shit, I'm just like, yeah, That's done it.
Dirty show business.
Bro, I've seen it, and I've been a part of it. I've worked on like independent movies in Dallas as a PA, and you see that business,
Not
And
cool.
I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. Because if you start doing that, then that leads down a road of, because I know some comics too, some wealthy comics that pay their openers in arena shows like $200 a show.
Yes.
Like wealthy guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, I'll never call out the guys because it's like, I feel like karma will get them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, good to know.
Yeah. But it says everything you need to know about that person, right?
Yeah. And I just go, oh, cool. When I see you, I'll shake your hand, but I'll go, I know what you really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It happens. It's the business.
Well, so in that regard, like these comedians with egos.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a story of where you saw somebody, maybe they were a regular guy and then they started to catch a little bit of momentum and some wind in their sail, and all of a sudden they just became unrecognizable as far as their ego, arrogance, stuff like that? Is that common, or is it?
I think it's the guys that never had a core group.
Core group as in
of comics that never had like a core group of comics.
Right. It's kind of like the outsiders that are still in the amongst everybody, but they're not part of like the clique.
The clique. I think it's the guys that would come in, they would keep to themselves. They would always judge others. They were the most judgmental ones. They would get a little heat and they're like, yeah, of course I'm getting shit. I'm the fucking greatest. And then you would see them fall and then no one was really around them. And they'd be like, I'm good. They'd be like, no one was really around them. And then they're like, hey guys, do you want to be friends now? And you're like, no, you were kind of an asshole to us on your way up.
Yeah.
The guys I've seen.
Then you create a super villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the guys I've been around, because I started with Ralph Barbosa, who's like huge now. But like, Ralph, man, he's still the same guy. Dude, I'll text him once in a while, being like, hey, bro, do you remember this? What was that restaurant we went to on this gig? Boom. 10 minutes later, he texts me. We chat back and forth. We might not talk for like 4 or 5 months, but every time we see each other, it's like boys from back in the day. I feel like every comic that was a part of the scene, when they rise up, we're all rooting for them. So they're still the same guy. They just have more fame and more money. But it's still our boy,
Yeah.
I've never really seen firsthand. I've never seen anybody really change. I think there are moments where they might say something. You're like, hey, man, I'm not your assistant. I'm your buddy. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then you just got to call it out. But if you're comfortable with them, yeah, it's easy to call them out.
How many comedians are there in the world? Have you ever looked it up?
I would say, I think there's a lot. Because what is a comedian? Because I count like clowns as comedians.
No. Like
just stand-ups?
Stand-up comedians.
In the world?
How many do you think? We'll have Brock look it up.
I'd say a few thousand.
That's what I was thinking.
Say like 4,000 or 5,000 overall of guy like at different levels. Because if you go with open micers, then it's gonna go crazy. I think like people that make money doing it, whether it's a living or not. But if you're making money off of it, I think
that's 5, definitely going to narrow it. Yeah, it can't be more than 5. But if you're using the whole world,
50,000?
50,000 paid stand-up comedians around the world.
It's pretty cool.
At any given.
That's just in general.
That just says stand-up comedians? Okay.
Dude, I think there's 50,000 that sign up for Kill Tony every week. Like, if we're going to go off those standards, you know what I mean? Like, because right now it's also right now we're in kind of comedy's cool right now, which when I started was not cool.
How so?
Dude, when I started comedy, I would tell people in my film classes, like, hey, I'm doing stand-up, and they're like, you're at a taco shop just telling like jokes about like farts and stuff. I was like, it's a little bit more than just fart. I have a few fart jokes, but it's like, the fart jokes is talking about the capitalistic society, But now comedy's cool. Like you tell people you're a comedian, people are like, whoa, you're a comedian? Because like guys like Joe, guys like Schultz, they've made comedy like mainstream, and it's a part of like the zeitgeist right now, where it used to not be like that like 8 years ago. It used to be like kind of like a weird like, I want to be a comedian.
You had to be a real fan of stand-up comedy to go. That's why when I grew up, we never went. I saw Bill Cosby in college.
Yeah.
I saw him do stand-up, which I thought it was hilarious because he didn't stand up the entire time. He sat on a chair. And he had gray hair. It didn't look like he did in TV. This is before all of the shit came out. It was like right before all that came out. I saw Bill Cosby in Wisconsin doing stand-up. And I mean, it was good, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's not like it is now where it's, you know.
Dude, like people like know like shit like about comedy. They're coming up to us at the club going like, bro, I saw that bit like 3 months ago. I love how you changed that joke and how you're adding to this joke and the callback on this joke. Like it's becoming like a fandom, like how people would watch like Star Wars or how people watch football. They're doing that with comedy, which is it's cool, but it's like
now you know you're being watched by more eyes.
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
Which is cool. No, you really don't.
Yeah. What about the what are the Faraday bags or the
Yonder bags?
Yonder bags.
Dude, honestly, the recording thing, I get it for the big dogs. You know, they have money on the line with like selling their specials. So like I get it. Like you don't want your material leaked because, you know, that's a bag. And it's like you said earlier, where you work 10, 15 years of making no money. Finally, you have the potential to make a bag and some asshole might ruin that.
Yeah.
Like, lock the bag. For me, what I like about the Yonder bags.
First off, tell everybody what the Yonder bag is.
So they're like a little bag. You put your phone in and you clip it shut and it takes a magnet to open it back up. But it's so people can't access their phones or their watches during the show.
And when did it come about?
I think a few, like 5-6 years ago, I think was the first time using it. I think like guys like Chappelle, once they were like getting those record-breaking Netflix deals.
Chappelle was the first one that I heard that was doing it.
I know some concerts they would do it when they were like filming live concerts and stuff where they were trying to sell it.
Technology was catching up with everything. Yeah.
Where for me, I think we should do it at every live event. Not just the selling aspect, because to me, the material I'm doing, like, I kind of want someone to release it. Be like, this guy's offensive and go viral. It would help my career.
Yeah.
The only reason I like the Yonder bags, I love that for the 30 minutes before the show starts, the audience has to talk to each other. They have to be engaged. They're talking with each other. They're drinking. They're having fun. Where you go to a comedy club where people are on their phone before the show. Yeah. It's kind of sad. Yeah. Where when you go to clubs that lock up the phones, people are talking. They're getting pumped up. They're like, oh, what's this song? Oh, dude, who do you think we're going to see? They're like getting excited. They're getting pumped up. And then when the show starts, it's nice that the audience is just focused on you. Where, dude, the worst feeling is when you're doing a joke and you just see a light and someone's just typing away or someone's just, has their phone up and you're like, are they recording me? Now I'm kind of like, I thought this was in the moment, I thought I was living in the moment. Now I have to worry about what I'm going to say. Yeah. Like how many followers does that person have? Right. So like, I love the idea of just everybody's in the moment with us and we're just, just enjoying it together as a group of 300.
What's the worst heckler you've ever had?
I had a guy, he was like 7 foot and I just kept on making fun of him because he was just being an asshole. And I kept on making fun of him for being a failed basketball player. And and then he tried to like kick my ass, which that was just like having a big dude like approach the stage. Cause I'm a pussy. I'll talk shit, but like him just like, he was big enough to climb up on the stage and it was like at a brewery. And literally I had to just walk off the stage and then eventually like a couple of guys came up and got him off. That was probably the worst heckler. I was like, oh, I think I'm about to get my ass kicked by this drunk frat guy who failed out of college. And yeah. I don't really get a lot of bad hecklers. I'll get a woman that says, I don't like it. And then I'll just go, everyone else is laughing. This isn't about you, bitch. And then you just make a little joke and then you go back to it.
Women are the worst.
When it comes to comedy.
It comes to comedy, yeah. Yeah. Like literally the worst hecklers at any comedy show is typically a woman. Like
because the reason they're the worst is because what I realized is guys will listen to the full joke and then decide not to like the joke, women will stop at the moment they don't like.
I see. They'll turn off.
Dude, that's what I've realized is when a dude says, I don't like your joke, is they listen to the whole joke, and after the show, they'll go like, I didn't like that joke because of this, 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 and this. Where a woman is like, I'll say like a trigger word like rape. And then that's where they stop. Yeah. And they're like, I didn't like it just because you used that word. Yeah. And I've realized that's how men and women are in real life, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you argue with a group of dudes, you listen to the full argument and go, you're wrong because of A, B, C. Yeah. Where a woman will just be like, I just didn't like how you just said that first thing to me. And then instantly they're just stuck on that. Yeah. And that's how they are with comedy. Yeah, as comedy audiences do.
You can see, I don't know if you can see it, 'cause, I mean, obviously you probably do, but you know, from security standpoint on the sides of the stage, looking at the same audience you're looking at, like we're seeing a different vantage point. Yeah. And what you just said, like, it's so true. Like women, you'll see them, they'll go through like these emotional highs and lows during a comedy show, and you'll see their faces, and some of them are so fucking funny. Like you could make a TV show just out of their reactions to some of the grotesque jokes. And they're just like, ugh. And then they'll look at their husband or whatever to see if he's laughing and be like, oh, he's laughing. It's so fucking funny.
I always do that. I stand on the side of the stage when Holtzman's on stage. When I watch Brian Holtzman, I'm just like, I'm gonna, because watching the crowd is half the show. Yeah. Just watching Brian Holtzman, it's just going like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah. If anybody listening has not ever heard of Brian Holtzman, do yourself a favor and go listen to this guy.
Go see him live Thursday nights. Yeah. It's always the late show.
Live is best with him.
You got to see him live. Be in the room. You got to feel his energy.
You could be in the next room over and you will hear Brian Holtzman yelling so loud. It's so fucking funny.
He's I think my favorite comic right now to watch. I think I've watched him the most the past 3 years.
He's such a great guy.
I've probably watched him 100 times.
He looks like he belongs on like the Addams Family or something like that. Like
dude, he acts like that in real life too.
Yeah, I know. He dresses like he's such a character. What is that about the dressing thing? Like, because I know a lot of comics dress down.
What do you mean? Oh, this is $1 million. This shirt is a Yeezy Kanye West $10,000 shirt.
No, there's something about it. Like I've heard comics talk about how if you dress too nice, they get distracted by your fancy clothes.
I think just dress. I think dress what you would wear. Yeah. I don't think because there are some there's some comics, if they dress nice, people will be like, oh yeah, that's them. Like a Schultz, because he's kind of like a preppy kind of cool guy. Yeah. When he like dresses in a nice jacket, nice shoes, you're like, oh yeah, that's him. I believe that. Where I think where comics fuck up is when they start dressing. They start dressing cooler, but they're not the cool guy. Yeah. Where I've gone through that, where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna wear this on stage, and then I look at a picture, I'm like, I just look like an asshole. Like that's not me. So now I'm like, I've always been jeans, black shirt, graphic tee guy. Why am I trying to be the cool tennis shoes and the weird jacket with the ripped jeans? And I was like, I've never been that guy.
Well, plus you're white. You're a white guy, and nothing looks cool on white guys.
That is true.
Like black guys can get away with it. Like the red leather jumpsuit. Who was that? Eddie Murphy.
Red leather. Michael Blackson can wear like a gold suit on stage.
Yeah, actually, no. Steve Martin wore all white 3-piece suit. Yeah, he was famous for that, right?
Michael Blackson. I've seen him do a funny bone. In a gold suit, and you're just like, that's balls.
I think suits look good on stage. I think that's good. If you can kill and look good in a good suit, I think that's right.
Yeah, but suits, it has to be the right venue, because if you're at a chuckle fuck in the middle of like somewhere Wisconsin and there's 13 people in the crowd, it looks sad as fuck. Yeah, now it looks like an AA meeting. Yeah, if you're in a suit. A suit is for like theaters or like a nice special taping. But yeah, because I was a suit comic my first 2 years. Really? I wore suits at every open mic. What
kind of suit? What was your suit?
It's just different. I had different Goodwill suits I would find with like fun, colorful t-shirts. Just very 80s, I would say, like very 80s late night TV show comic. I was like, oh, this is what they dress like. Seems fun. I'll dress like that. And then the dry cleaning just got too expensive.
So in the break, we were talking about self-deprecation. Yeah. And
your producer was telling me, he was like, he saw me a few weeks ago and he said, your first like 7 minutes, you're just making fun of like your weight. You're making fun of how you look and how this and that. And I've always felt self-deprecation is the best tool to get into the darker material, because I think Louis is great at that. Louis C.K. Where you watch a Louis special, he's making fun of himself the first 20 minutes. Like, I'm a fuck up. I'm a dirty guy. I'm into weird shit. And then he can talk about, like, you know, school shootings or terrorism or this and that. Because I feel like if a crowd watches you tear yourself down, they get comfortable. Because they go, oh, this guy doesn't take himself too serious. This guy can point out his flaws. So I trust him when it comes to pointing out flaws of a politician or of a current like economic thing that's going on, or, you know, a current social issue, because they're like, oh, I just watched him make fun of himself for 8 minutes. Even if I don't agree with what he's saying, I'm going to laugh along because I know he doesn't think he's better than us. Which I think those have always been my favorite comics. I hate comics that look down at the crowd or that go on stage and they're like, I'm about to teach you guys something. I came to get drunk with my boys and laugh. I don't want you to teach me something. Right. Yeah. So anytime even if I make a point, because in my act, I have some beliefs that I truly believe. But if you leave the show with your same mindset and I didn't change your mind, I don't give a fuck. But if you laugh, that's all I care about. Like, I'm going to tell you my belief. If I change your mind, but you didn't laugh at the joke, I think I failed. But if I didn't change your mind and you still laughed, I think I did the best job at it.
It doesn't matter either way.
Yeah. I think you see some comics like a Bill Maher type that wants to go on stage and they're like, hey, idiots, this is what you should really feel. And it's like, buddy, just tell us jokes. Yeah. Make fun of yourself. And he's a guy, if you make fun of him, he gets mad. I'm like, dude, take a chill pill. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think he's taking himself so seriously?
I think it's the same thing. He's rich. He's been famous for a long time. I think he doesn't have that core group around him. You know, he has his TV show named after himself. When he goes on the road, it's by himself. Yeah. You know, you get trapped. You start, you know.
Believe in the hype.
Yeah. Where I think if you're around your buddies and you're around people, your boys that are going to shit talk to you and be like, what's up, shortstop? You know, what's up, fatty? You know, it's like you stay true to yourself. Right. And I've always loved self-deprecating humor.
Wasn't his wife the one that flipped Trump off at the UFC fight?
No, that was Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr. Okay. Yeah. All right.
That was Bill Burr.
What's your thoughts on Bill Burr?
I think he's a genius.
Yeah?
I think he's genius.
Yeah?
I think, yeah, his newest special is brilliant. You're watching a guy evolve, which you don't see a lot with famous comedians. Or a lot of comics, they hit a certain level and the next few specials are almost like repeats of old specials, where with Bill Burr, you're seeing his mentality change. He's going to therapy. Whether you agree or not with therapy or whatever, you're just watching his perspectives change.
What's he going to therapy for?
His anger. But he's still angry. But he's like less angry.
It's like anger management.
Yeah. But now he's angry at different things. And it's like, it's fun. I think, yeah, Bill's great. Yeah. I think. And my thing is too, it's like, yeah, his wife licked up Trump. It's whatever. Like, that's what that's why America is so great. That's what makes me mad, is when people go, can you believe she flicked off Trump? That's what America's about, is that she can go like that and she didn't get her head chopped off. And I hope that when like the next Democratic president gets elected and there's some like Republican wife goes like that to like fucking, you know, Joe Biden, like the Joe Biden robot, because that's coming. I've read the files. Yeah. No, but like someone like flicks off a Democratic president, they're like, can you believe he flicked off the president? It's disrespect. Is it disrespectful? Sure. But that's why America's dope.
Right.
It's because you can do that. You do that any other Middle Eastern country, you're gone.
Yeah, you disappear.
You're gone.
If you're lucky, your family doesn't disappear.
Yeah. So to me, it's like this idea of like harping on it and going, we should cheer it. We should cheer it on. Fuck yeah.
What do you think about the Epstein files?
It's getting a little weird.
You saw the news today, right?
It's getting a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's getting a little strange. So he had the island was just like a Chuck E. Cheese now? Like there was no foul play?
No, nothing to see here, Tony. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's getting...
Don't even ask about the minute that's missing on the security footage from the prison where he was in jail. Stop asking questions.
It's getting... Because like, it's not like... They're like, it's weird. Like, this is like a bad lie. Yeah. It's like when you come home from a strip club. Yeah. And your girlfriend looks at you and goes, where were you? Uh-huh. And you're like, babe, I've been studying. And she's like, you're slurring your words. Hey, babe, I'm just so tired. You smell like cheap perfume and you have glitter on you. Babe, what can I say? There was a guy that came in and he started spraying us with perfume and I had to fight him off and he had glitter, try to throw it in my eye. Like, it just seems like a bad lie.
It's such a bad lie. It's such a bad lie. And it's to the point where they're like, everybody knows we're lying. Fuck it. We'll just end it. Like it's like
they said nothing happened.
The same story you're just telling. It's that guy going, "This is what I said I was doing, and that's it. I'm going to bed."
Yeah,
that's what's happening right now. We're in that phase of the fight.
It blew my mind. Nothing. I read nothing happened on the island. He blackmailed no one.
Nothing happened.
No one.
Nobody.
Then why did he hang himself if he did nothing? Yeah. Usually people don't kill themselves in jail cells if they did nothing.
And that poor girl that just suicided herself the other, what was that, like 2 months ago now? She was like, she was the main one that talked about Prince Andrew. She's the one that exposed Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
She suicided herself. Did you see that?
Oh, of course. I assume.
And she put out messages saying, hey, if I commit suicide, it wasn't me, by the way. Nothing to see here.
Why do you think they're doing it? And B, why do you think they're being so blatant about the lie? Because it's like they didn't even try.
We talked about this today. I think there's so many names on that list right now that are still in positions of power, not just here, but around the world. Yeah. That the entire world would lose confidence in their leadership. Yeah. That I think it's that bad. I think the names, the amount of names on that list is so thick that in my personal opinion, I think everybody went to that fucking island.
I think a lot.
I think everybody.
Just to clarify, they didn't say he didn't do anything wrong. They just said it was only him. Nobody else was involved. I don't know where these tapes came from or whatever. It was just him.
So it's just Epstein on an island by himself?
And Ghislaine Maxwell, who took the fall.
The thing is, because the reason I don't believe that is because prior to this, they said the parties were lavish and awesome. And if I showed up to a party... Like, let's say I was like a 17-year-old girl and I showed up to a party and it was just some old Jew and his like hag wife. I would be like, let's leave this party. But if a couple of presidents stumbled along and you're like, wait a second, that's the CEO of blah, blah, blah. And that's a cool actor. You're going to get more enticed. I doubt people are getting enticed by just seeing Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Because he's not like a looker either.
Well, it's weird to me is some of the stories I'm hearing is that these people would go out to the island and it was just them and Jeffrey Epstein and the girls.
That can't be it.
I can't believe that. But I mean, nobody knows the full story. Everything is hearsay because we haven't been given the fucking story, the real story yet. But from what I'm hearing is like, they would pick one person, they would put them on a flight, they would fly him out there, and they would get him out to the island. And then whatever happens, happens. But
no, I agree with you because it is
super creepy.
It is true that if it would like the world would kind of crumble if the names that are on it would come out. If it's people still in power.
Yeah. And I think what's happening right now is what you're seeing is that the fallout from lying to the public as opposed to the fallout of exposing all the names.
Yeah.
Like this, exposing all the people that are on that list, the fallout outweighs lying to the public and them going, oh, this is just our government lying to us.
Do you think the same thing happened with the Diddy trial? Him only getting accused?
I think it's the same thing. I think
him only getting charged with like prostitution.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Which is crazy.
I'm thinking this shit is so prevalent.
Yeah.
I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. These are just the two that we know about, the Diddy case and the Epstein. Like, if this is what we know about, imagine how much more of this shit is going on that much bigger operations that we don't know about. Imagine. Yeah. Like,
because the Diddy one was kind of crazy to go, this guy, the baby oil, the rappers are getting fucked in the ass, to, oh, he only had sex with a couple of prostitutes.
You think Bieber got fucked in the ass?
100%.
Definitely did.
Dude, you look at people like Bieber, you look like someone like Amanda Bynes. You don't. Have you seen a picture of Amanda Bynes recently?
Mm-hmm. She looks horrible.
You don't. Yeah, you don't become that because life went well. You know what I mean? Dude, Justin looks like a skeleton of himself. He's like on Instagram saying some weird shit. I get it. You know, he's like, the world's finding out he like got molested as a child. That must be a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and now he's out and now he's not going to go to jail.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine the guy that
is he out now? Did they let him out yet?
I'm sure. Did they? Can you check? Because
no, they denied him bail.
They denied him bail?
Well, for 3 months, and then he gets sentenced.
Because if it's a prostitution case, what's he going to get sentenced? 8 months in a fucking nice prison?
Yeah.
And then the Cassie case, he'll probably just pay her a shit ton of money, and then he'll be good on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You're served.
Dude, I don't know. It's like, but aren't you doing more disservice to the people? Because, yeah, if you give us the names and the people that are still in power, you know what,
they know what we're gonna do with it. That's the problem.
What are we gonna do?
If you get a list of all the people that are on that Epstein flight log, everybody that went out to the island, now we know around the world, all the fucking pedophiles that are in leadership positions, royalty positions. There's going to be upheaval. There's going to be people are going to be demanding justice.
Yeah.
Like, economies are going to come to a halt. People are going to be fucking mad. Those are little girls. I mean, these girls were 12, 13, 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
Coming out there.
Also, I think maybe they're scared too because it would be, I think, the first time that maybe the country would come together. Because they would look at the list, because it's not just going to be Republicans on the list or Democrats on the list.
It's everybody.
It's going to be everybody. So it's going to be the first time where the aisles come together and go, hey, we got to punish these people and bring in a new crop of both right-wing and left-wing people. And that's scary too. Because like the top-level bankers, they're scared because, you know, they have their money in these people's pockets.
Well, it's all about the money, right? Imagine what would happen to the stock market if they dropped, I don't know, 400 names of leadership positions around the world all at once. Imagine these are CEOs of companies, right?
Yeah.
It's not just in like presidential positions. Like these are these people run empires, and all of a sudden their name is on a list, and so all of their stockholders are going to start. Fuck this guy. Fuck this company. They represent our company. They're going to pull their fucking money out of that company. Right?
Yeah.
Like what happens? There was that woman down in, what was her name? Maybe Brock can look it up. This woman, I saw it. First thing I woke up this morning and there was she worked at an orthopedic. She was a doctor that worked at an orthopedic clinic down in, I want to say New Braunfels or San Antonio.
Yeah.
And you got her name?
Well, It's Houston. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, in Houston. All right. Well, she put out a social media post last night or this morning, basically saying, you heard about the flooding that happened down in Killeen or Kerrville. I'm sorry. So she put out a social media post that said, "I'm praying for everybody except for anybody that voted pro MAGA. Blah 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 blah." So basically, I'm very sorry to everybody, and I'm praying for everybody except for anybody who voted for Trump. You can go fuck yourselves and you can die. Well, I just saw a post like an hour ago. She got fired by her fucking place, and like that company had to put out an apology statement. So, what's her name?
Christina.
That's also crazy.
Go fuck yourself, that's Christina. Crazy. Fucking.
But anyways, it's the same thing. It's people like that are crazy.
It's so gross.
Like people like that.
You know how many little girls died in that fucking river?
Yeah.
Like there was 2 sisters I saw a picture of.
Yeah.
They died with their hands interlocked.
I know. Yeah.
Like,
and you're gonna care about
what their parents voted for?
Yeah.
Like, shame on you, man. Like,
no, that to me is always the craziest. That's what's like the saddest part of this, like the world right now, is just like you'll say like, oh, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. And then people will be like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you." It's like, just talk to me, man. Let's not even talk politics. Let's just like talk sports. We're going to get along. We're going to be fine. Dude, at the end of the day, we want most of the same things. Like at the end of the day, we do. It's just, we've just all gotten trapped in this like social, this weird social war. And I genuinely think that's why the Epstein thing and the Diddy thing and all these, because it brings more people together. Because if the rich, they've always been fucking us. The rich have always been fucking us. And if it came out they've been fucking us, but also they've been doing these like terrible things, the lower level people, no matter if you're right wing or left wing, we team up and go, we gotta fucking get these people out.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing. That's the scariest.
Yeah, how are we going to do that if we're all fighting?
So when do you think they're going to release the actual list in like 60 years? Like, because we don't even have the Kennedy assassination list thing yet. And that's been...
Yeah, about the same amount of time. Yeah.
So should we just forget it? How are we supposed to forget it? They fed it to us during COVID.
Yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird conversation. I don't know what to think anymore. I mean... Like our government, we're fucked either way. Like,
we're, but it's their fault because they made a conspiracy theory mainstream, and now they're going, it's actually not that. They're trying to go back. They're trying to put it back in the box.
It'll come out. There'll be whistleblowers that. But here's the thing: it's like even if somebody whistleblows and releases the list, they can discredit it. They'll say, "Oh, it's just whatever." You know? Yeah. Like it's not.
They did with Julian Assange and stuff.
It would take somebody big that dropped it. Like even like an Elon, probably, because of all the shit that's happened.
Like big, like weight wise, like a Lizzo. Dude, what if Lizzo released the Epstein list? That'd be kind of cool.
It would just be white men.
The Lizzo album has. No, we need. I don't know. Because honestly, I feel like they should have never. I don't know. I don't think the everyday man should have ever known about Epstein. You know what I mean? I think there's like it's most people they're just trying to go to work, feed their family, and the thing about the internet, we're getting all this information, things we can do nothing about. Because I'm interested in conspiracy theories, but like I kind of keep it in a time frame. It's like my Sundays when I just, if I have nothing going on, I get high, I'm playing Madden, I'm playing career mode. The Cowboys have 7 Super Bowls in a row. Hire me, I'm a good GM. And but I'll put on a conspiracy theory video. You know what? I'm smoking weed. I'm like, whoa, that would be crazy. And then I'll text my friends. And we're like, what do you think this actually happened? And they're like, no, man, this actually happened. We have our little debates. But I don't take it out into normal society. Where I think a lot of people, we'll be at a bar and a friend will be like, what was it with what's that, the company that was selling furniture and they were saying there were kids in the furniture? It was, not Waymo. It was Timu or something.
Timu?
I think it was Timu.
Okay.
And there was like a theory that kids were being shipped into the furniture. Like they were putting kids in the furniture, shipping the furniture, a whole pedophile ring.
Wow.
And it was like, we're at a bar and we have a friend. She's so deep into conspiracy theories. And we're just talking, you know, just bullshitting, da-da-da. She's like, but what are we going to do about the kids that are getting shipped in the fucking bed frames? And I'm like, huh? Wayfair. That's it.
Wayfair.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, it's literally 12:30 on a Thursday night. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're at a dive bar.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm waiting for rent payment Thursday. You know, I was about to ask you if you could cover one more round of shots. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Where I think that's what became the problem is too many people. It's almost sad. We learn too much stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I think most people don't need to know much stuff.
Well, society's adjusting to this new influx of internet. And,
yeah.
You know, you have everything at your fingertips now, literally at your fingertips on your phone. You can answer anything. And now with AI, it's even faster and more and better.
And you know those very terrible AI videos on your iPhone? You look at it and you're like, this is obviously fake. What I've realized is because my grandmother has an awful smartphone. She has like one of those cheap ones. On those phones, those AI videos look more real.
Oh, no.
Because the screen isn't as HD. So it's a little slower. You're like, huh. She sent me and my dad a video going, Elon Musk is going to send us all $1 million by the end of the year if we help to get Trump out of office. And she just goes, remember that next time you go to the voting booth. And she like believes it.
Yeah.
And so I realized like, oh, like these AI videos aren't for people that have like the highest tech. It's for people that are still like watching on like the old smartphones from like years ago or the ones like Chinese made. Because they look at it, it looks more real on those phones.
I believe it. Yeah.
Because it's like the frame rate's a little off.
Right.
It's not HD. And you're like, holy shit, maybe Elon did say that. And even if you have like if you're like hearing impaired, you're like, it kind of does sound like Elon. I don't know. It's weird to like my grandma.
That's
like my grandma's into conspiracies now, which shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a good point because that's a huge percent of the population.
Most people can't afford the new $800.
No, I mean, do you think about the baby boomers are going into those years right now, right? Yeah. Like, what is the population of the baby boomer? What percent of the population is baby boomers? It's got to be massive. And if you're able to trick them, you could easily sway votes. My
theory is baby boomers will never die. They're just, they just
become babies again.
Yeah, they become babies again. The baby boomers were the worst generation. And
how old are you?
I'm 30.
30? Okay.
Yeah. I'm a millennial.
Yeah. I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of it.
What year were you born?
83.
83, I'm 94.
Yeah. That was like the very beginning of the
We were like the coolest generation because we were the most peaceful generation.
True.
We kind of grew up only in peace. If you think about it, we had the Cold War, kind of.
That's a great point. I never thought about that.
But we had no hard war. And I think that's why we're the first generation to kind of stand up and fight against active wars, where you're seeing the stuff with like bombing Iran, and people are like, yeah, we might bomb the factory, but we're not gonna do a hard war because we just lived through our first war was a big shit show.
Well, that's also indicative of like who's in office at the time.
That too. Yeah, that too.
Like that, because if that was a different president, we could be in a full-on fucking
You think
war.
so?
Oh yeah, easily.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. We could have easily been drug into that with the wrong person in office.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Easily. Everybody wanted that to happen, or half the people did at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Trump did because I'm not a big fan of him, but he did. I feel like he did a pretty good job on that aspect.
He got in and got out.
Yeah.
We did what we had to do. We made our point.
It felt
negotiated peace and
it felt very Desert Storm.
Yeah. Hey, he's like, on to the next thing. UFC here, 2026. Let's go, baby. 4th of July. Let's go.
Crazy.
Like, I don't care what you think of the guy.
Yeah.
He's effective and he fucking gets shit done. And
No, with that, because I had some buddies, they're like, can you believe he bombed Iran? And I went, yeah. Iran, I don't think is a place that should have nuclear weapons. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with like North Korea. I go, you don't want people like that to have the kind of. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
But like Iran, especially what's going on, like, so I do give them credit on that. The idea of, because I was worried. I thought we were gonna get dragged into a war.
Did I tell you went to the White House?
No.
Yeah, last Monday.
What was that like?
It was fucking wild, dude.
Is it cool?
It's
Is it
cool.
a cool house?
It's cool. It's big. It's big. It's the whole grounds is very big. Like you when you pull in there, everything is perfectly manicured.
Of course.
I mean, it's like you just feel like this aura of like this is a special
That would
place.
be disappointing if you pulled into the White House and there's just like roommates. There's like
it's like Dirty Sixth
yeah,
Street.
there's just guys smoking weed out front. You're like, yeah, you could go with that way, man. Don't mind the dishes, though. We're gonna clean them. We promise.
Yeah. The guy asking you for money, like, I'm reformed. Can I have some money? No. Yeah.
That would be fun.
No, it was cool. It's like, so, I mean, like, as soon as you get in there, you realize, like, okay, security this is the most secure place on earth.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, this underground, over, everything is like completely contained in here. And everything you're driving over has magnetometers. Like,
what are magnetometers?
Basically, it's like if you have anything metallic on you, in you, whatever, like it can like sense it. So like for crowd control at these large concerts, like say that the president's going to show up in Austin, he's going to be speaking at the Capitol. Well, they will have magnetometers for the first like maybe 20 to 50 rows.
Whoa.
So anybody within that row, if they have anything, it'll get sensed. Or if anybody sneaks into those rows with something, it picks up on it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
so if you had like a gun on you, it could sense that it's a gun.
Yeah.
Just based off the shape and
the metallic signature is giving off. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's old technology. So you can imagine what they got now. So just driving through here, I could just feel like the radiation. Like, all right, I'm definitely, I mean, anything we're saying in the car, they're probably listening to in some way. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You just feel like, whew.
Yeah.
This is the most secure place on earth, and we're in it right now. And so, we get in there and you go through multiple checkpoints and then you finally get to get in there. And even though you're through the checkpoints, you still feel like there's checkpoints that you haven't quite gotten to yet, or whatever. And so you're finally getting in there, and then it's a sit and wait game when you get there. And it's just, I mean, unless you're somebody big, if you're nobody, you're going to sit and you're going to wait as long as it takes. Like you used to talk about waiting 6 hours to go on stage.
Yeah.
That could happen there at the White House, I'm sure, very easily.
Yeah.
And so you're going to sit, and you don't sit and get to walk around. You sit in your car. Like, you just sit and wait.
What if you have to shit?
Hopefully you know somebody that can. But even that, going into a building, you're going to have to go through security checkpoints. Yeah. So you have to plan ahead for that shit.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take a while to get in there. And then so we finally get in there, and we're getting a tour, and we're going through, and immediately you walk into the White House and you're like, I'm in the fucking White House. I was in the library, White House library, and they have a bathroom in there. I went in there, and then we're going through, and they took us to like the lady who makes like all of the floral arrangements for the White House, and she was super sweet, super nice. And then she started telling us how often they replace the flowers and how the abundance of flowers that come in. Like, it takes a lot. It's like Disney World. I mean, there's such an operation that goes to keep this thing. But the house itself was like, you could tell, very old. This isn't the original, and the original one burnt down, but they have relics and certain things in there from the original White House. But so we're going through here, and like the smell, that's the one thing I can't forget is like the smell. It's just
smell like?
Old money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just smelled like this is old money, but almost like past the age of like where it still smells good. This is expired old money kind of thing.
Your grandma's house.
Your great grandma's house. Grandma's house. That was a, whatever, 100 millionaire, whatever.
Yeah.
It was like that. Like, it's like, all right, it's time to, and they're like, yeah, we're always trying to light incense and candles to kind of like, but it's just such an old historic place. And you're going through and you're looking at, and so one of the first things I noticed as we were going through is like Trump. So when a new president comes in, they throw out all the old president's shit and they fucking like start hanging up all their own stuff, pictures, paintings, artwork, whatever it is. Trump got rid of all of the old shit and put pictures of himself. Like fucking everywhere.
How many pictures? Like a lot?
Fucking hundreds of them.
What was the best picture of him that he put up?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Is it just pictures with like the different celebrities he's met and the different people he's...
No, it's like, I guess probably the best one would be the McDonald's picture when he was in the McDonald's drive-thru.
He has it up on the wall?
Fuck yeah.
That's great.
No,
That's
it's
funny.
awesome. It was a cool moment for him.
That's funny.
It's a special moment. And, like the one thing I'll say about Trump is he knows how to entertain.
Did you get to meet him?
Yeah. In the Oval Office.
No.
Yes. I got to shake his hand in the Oval Office and he walked up to me. Like, that was the crazy thing.
How big's the Oval Office, would you say? Because it doesn't seem that big, right?
I'd say it's like about the size of a half court on a basketball court.
Wow.
But in an oval shape, but about that same length and width.
Yeah.
It's about that.
How many people were in the room?
So it was me and two of my buddies. I just want to
feel it out. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was me, a couple of my buddies, and then there was like a White House photographer that was in there, and then another one of his personal security guards that was there. So us 5, and then Trump was giving a personal tour to our guests that were with us. I won't say their names, but he was giving a personal tour to them and their families in the other room. And the funniest part was, so you remember Monica Lewinsky, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Monica Lewinsky used to give Bill Clinton head in a side room adjacent to the Oval Office. Well, when Trump came back in the office, he renamed that room the Lewinsky room. And he turned it into his merch shop where he has like all this fucking merch where he just, it's not even real merch. It's like, I'm just roasting even my guests. Like, he's like, it's all for fun. He's like, 8 more years. It'll be like a hat that says 8 more years. Like, he knows he can't serve for 8. He can't, it's all for fun. And that's what I love about that guy. He's got a sense of humor. And I'll fucking take that any day. Like, I'll take the brash side of that guy if I can get a president that shoots it to me straight for one.
Yeah.
Because
that's funny.
We grew up with a bunch of presidents that told us it was like they were just reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever gave it to us straight. Nobody ever went off script. Nobody fucking told us anything. That's why when the first time I started to like Trump I was like, this guy's real. He's not reading teleprompters. He's just like shooting from the hip. And so
that is the gift shop in the White House is pretty funny.
Oh, dude.
Because like the idea of foreign leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the German prime minister coming through. Hey, before you leave, make sure to get an 8 more years hat.
Let me take you to the Monica Lewinsky room.
He goes, I'll give you the discount. I know the guy that set it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and the other thing is like, so in the Oval Office, which is actually not the original Oval Office. We went to that one too. Now it's like a conference room basically that they use. But now the new one, so when you come in there, you get to deck out the Oval Office however you want. Like, you could change the curtains, the carpet, whatever. You can make it your own. And Trump loves gold. So like everything in there, like all the little stuff on the walls, like the little bookshelves, whatever, all gold. Everything's gold. Jeez. He gave us this presidential challenge coin. You know what a challenge coin is? He gave us one. It's like massive. It's like the size of this, bigger than the size of this glass right here. Yeah. Like about that big around.
Yeah.
And it's massive. It's beautiful. Like, United States president, 45, 47, Donald, blah, blah, blah. Like, this thing's worth, we looked it up online. It's $4,200 fucking challenge coin.
Holy fuck.
And I got one. I was like, whoa.
That's pretty good.
That's
like a gift. Yeah.
I'm like, well, it won't make me rich, but it might
spend this at the gift shop?
Yeah. It might make my great grandkids rich someday. Yeah. I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Cause that's my thing. He is very unique. Like I said, I'm dumb. it's interesting because he is different. That is
you like him. You're just fighting
I like him as a guy. I don't know. Cause I'm a Bernie boy, and I know that's a little weird.
Did you see the podcast when he was on the Rogan podcast? What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good interview. I thought it was great.
What part of it?
I thought. I think the discussion of what I've always agreed with Bernie is the whole billionaire class needs to start paying their weight. And my thing is, because I don't even have an issue with Trump. The people I have issues with generally are like the Peter Thiels of the world, the Elon Musk, little, the Mark Zuckerbergs. Those are guys that kind of creep me out because at least with Trump, when I look at Trump, I can read him and he says what he feels.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that's a human. Yeah, I might not agree with him fully, but like I could talk to him and everything he says to me, he believes. But Elon Musk or a Peter Thiel, especially, I would say Peter Thiel and Mark Zuckerberg, those guys aren't human beings.
Right.
And I just them getting the power they have right now just kind of scares me.
What do you think about the way Elon's been acting lately?
It makes sense. It's the reason he helped Trump get elected is because he wanted benefits.
Right.
And honestly, and again, I'm a liberal guy, but I'm not one of these liberal guys that says everything Trump does. I do give him credit. Like, yeah, Elon helped him, but he goes, hey, if we're cutting shit out of the government, we're going to cut you out too because you've been getting a lot of money too.
Yeah.
So if you want other people to get cut, you're getting cut too.
He kind of threw a temper tantrum.
Yeah, he's having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't trust...
Started his own party.
That's why I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg. Because for 8 years, he's like, oh, you can't say this on Facebook. You can't say this on Facebook. He starts saying Trump is probably going to win again. I love bow hunting and I love fighting. Dude, have you seen the
I love America.
Have you seen the video he recorded in his backyard? He goes, my favorite things to do are car racing and eating steaks because, who doesn't like a good race on the track? Yeah. And you're like, you're not a human. Yeah. That's what I don't like, or these billionaire, because I feel like they never had friends and they don't care if society fails. They just care about like their little empire, what they can control, because they're severely autistic. Mm-hmm. Like Peter Thiel talked recently in an interview. Someone asked, would you care if AI took over the human race? And it took him like 45 seconds to give an answer.
What did he say?
He said, well, they get stronger and better than us. Don't they have the right to outlive us? And you're just like, all right, Peter.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when my thing is that it's a little disheartening is the team up with those guys. Because I genuinely think the billionaire class is kind of like what ruined this country. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a political party. I think it's literally because I don't think the billionaire class has a party. Mm. They'll sell themselves out to anybody that'll listen. I just think, those tech guys right now, they seem kind of scary to me.
Where do you see like your role? I mean, Tony Casillas.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not up there yet. You're climbing.
We're getting there.
You're doing a great fucking job, by the way. I love your shit. But what do you think about like the sacred clown like theory and how do you see that? First off, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you see your role in that now as you're starting to rise in this industry and your voice, and you're starting to see now with technology, social media, stuff like that, you could say one thing and that can reverberate and create waves. Do you see a place with what's happening in the world today? This is the new modern era with technology, artificial intelligence, social media, all of this. Do you see a place where you can actually make a difference, or do you just trying to get laughs?
Oh, I think I can make it. I think if my thing would just try to bring people together more. because I've watched, I think, the past few years. Because, like I said, I'm a Bernie bro guy. The first president I voted for in the Democratic primary was Bernie Sanders. But I would also go do gigs in bumfuck nowhere, Oklahoma, with MAGA everywhere. I'd perform in front of them. They would laugh. Afterwards, they would take me out to their favorite bar. We'd talk shit. They'd go, "You're a socialist." I'm like, "Oh, you're a fascist." And we'd laugh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we'd actually talk. And then I would realize, oh, we actually all want the same thing. I want health. I want money in my pocket to just live. Nothing, I want food, good food. And yeah, my family to be taken care of. And it made me realize, going back to my more liberal bubble in Denton, Texas, outside of Dallas, when they're like, every Trump supporter is like a Nazi, every Trump supporter is an evil person, I would go, yeah, that's not true either. Yeah. So I think if my sacred clown thing is hey, I don't care what you voted for. I don't care who you lean towards. That side, the people that voted for that guy, they're not all evil. We're not all evil. We all have our evil eggs, but mostly each group is full of good people that just care.
Yeah.
And that, I think, if I had the chance, if I had the voice to spread something, I would try to spread that. Right. Is because I hate that the most. When people, like you said, the lady said, "Oh, if your kid died but you voted for Trump, fuck you." Evil. Yeah. But it's the same thing with, "Oh, if if you didn't vote for Trump, don't be my friend."
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's dumb.
It's that. So I think that would be my goal, would be hey, let's just find good people from both sides that weren't on Epstein's island. Let's just talk, and we don't have to agree.
Yeah.
And we can just talk. We can hear each other out, and we can have a good time.
Yeah. So the whole theory behind the sacred clown thing is this goes way back to medieval jester kind of era, right? Where, in a long time ago, you didn't have a voice.
Yep.
So we can sit here, we can have podcasts, we can talk about it or whatever we want. But back then, nobody had a voice.
Yeah.
And if you talked against the crown, well, they'll cut your fucking hands off, or they'll kill you, or they'll put you in that thing where they got your hand in your,
guillotine,
your hand. Yeah, whatever it is, there was only one profession that really could speak against the crown, and it was the jesters. They were the ones that put on the comedy shows back in the day. And so in a way, that was for the people that were trying to deliver messages to the people, they had to do it in the form of comedy, where they could send messages to people and to the crown and to the royal elites. They thought it was comedy, ha ha ha, and they would let it slide because it was in the name of comedy. They would let these
jokes slide,
but everybody else kind of knew the underlying tones to it. And so you were basically, if you were a comedian back then or a jester, you had a responsibility.
Yeah.
You had a responsibility. If you had the balls to do it, you had a responsibility to basically deliver messages. Yeah. And so as a comedian, it's almost it was probably a very stressful job at the time, because you were always pushing the boundaries with your jokes and your tricks or whatever you were doing, or the puppeteer. They used a lot of puppets back in the day, representing the king and the queen, stuff like that. And so I could imagine you're always wondering, is this joke going to get me killed? Could you imagine going to the mothership and going, "Oh, I could get my head chopped off."
Dude,
for this joke.
But it's also crazy because I feel that in both areas, where I'll do some jokes at the mothership where, there might be the guy in the front row wearing a MAGA hat. And my goal is, like I said earlier, at the end of the day, I want him to laugh. If I change his mind, who gives a shit, but to laugh. But I feel it on the other side too, where when I'm doing a more liberal crowd, because those are the crowds I started off with, blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking about hey, RFK Jr. isn't that bad of a guy, and you could see people scoff. It's always a fun challenge, and I love that feeling of, by the end, they're laughing at the joke, of the idea of, you're calling this guy a Nazi because he wants fruit to be cheap. That's crazy.
And it's almost that's your new purpose in life, right? If you're a sacred clown, and that kind of idea, maybe this is a time to make jokes, to make people like relax. Like we're not enemies.
We're not.
We're all part of the same team. Doesn't matter who you want to be your leader.
Yeah.
We're all still part of the same team.
We're all just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I think anytime, and it's also, I'm lucky how I just started. Like I said, I went to a pretty liberal arts school in Denton, UNT, and comedy honestly opened my eyes because I could have easily been trapped. I was trapped for a second of just like, oh, this guy, blah, 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 you know, the same liberal talking points of, you know, if you sent one weird DM to a chick, oh, you're a rape, but you should be canceled. I was that for like 6 months. And then when I got into comedy and like I said, I traveled the world and you just meet people in different pockets. And at the end of the day, you realize we're all the same. It's literally 20% that's different, but 80% is the same.
Everybody in the middle. We're all good.
Yeah. And that's why that's why it's the billionaires that freak me out, is because they're always complaining about like, oh, you know, the algorithm. Motherfuckers, y'all control the algorithm. You control it.
Yeah.
You could stop it at any point.
Yeah, they could change it.
You could change it that arguments, like political discourse, doesn't get as much hype and as much. But no, that's where you put your ad money in, and that's what's allowing you to get a new hairline. Mark Zuckerberg. It's
all about impressions.
Hey, I saw your hairline, Mark, a few years ago. You didn't have that much hair, buddy. That's $1 billion hairline Mark has on his head. It's crazy.
Still looks horrible.
He looks terrible. He looks like, dude, it's like you're not a fuckboy, Mark.
Yeah.
You're a Jewish tech guy.
Yeah.
Be a Jewish tech guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Tony, I want you to just let people know where they can find you, what you got coming up.
You can find me at Comedian Tony C on Instagram and X, and on YouTube. You can just look up Tony Casillas. A football player might show up from the 90s that played for the Dallas Cowboys. That is not me.
That was his last job.
That was my last job. That was my second life. And he's still alive. But we just split up. And I don't know. I'm going to be in Austin. Just check out shows in Austin. I'm scheduling some headlining shows for the beginning of next year. But if you're in the Dallas area, me and my buddy CJ Landry are going to be co-headlining in Plano on September 11th, America's greatest holiday.
Hell yeah.
As we call it, Second Christmas.
And I'm coming to that comedian fucking poker game. You better send me an invite.
I'll text it off right now.
And real quick, I need to start doing a better job of this, but if you like this content, if you sat through this entire podcast, please subscribe on YouTube, on Spotify, whatever social media platforms we have. Please set the alerts. Like, that'll help us be able to get more sponsors so we can pump out more episodes.
He needs it.
We need it. We need that money.
He cries a lot about worrying about guys, look at me. Shawn needs you. I know he looks like tough and cool, but he cries a lot. He goes, if I don't get a Slim Jim membership, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay rent. I'm like, John, you have another job. You're just spending too much money on, those tight shirts. You just cut your shirt budget. But yeah, like and subscribe.
All
right.
That as a promo, by the way. I'm not even joking. I'm cutting that. I'm putting it at the end of every video.
All right, I love it. All right, perfect. That's actually a great idea. All right, last question.
Oh, okay.
If you could not be a comedian, if Donald Trump outlawed comedians tomorrow, what would you do?
Ooh.
I thought about opening with this one, but it felt better for the end.
Honestly, it's my other dream job that I hopefully leads to this. I want to be a film director. I want to make movies. I want to bring back old school Hollywood. I want to make Ocean's 11's type movies. Just fun popcorn movies. No agenda, no nothing. Just go in and have a good time at the movie. Hour 45.
Do you know which one I could recommend to viewers is the new F1 movie with Brad?
Oh, it's amazing.
Have you seen it?
It's amazing.
Dude, it's fucking
It's
awesome.
amazing.
It had like a Top Gun feel to it. I'm not a big fan of the race car movies for whatever reason, but this one I was like, all right, whatever. They shot the whole thing in IMAX cameras.
It's beautiful.
Which is like the first movie ever made with the whole thing was made with IMAX. And I fucking loved it.
Again, that's what back to the Sacred Clown question. Again, I have a feeling movies are going back that way, are just fun blockbuster movies. Eventually, that's my dream. I want to direct like an Ocean's 11 type movie.
Yeah. Well, I hope it happens. And dude, it's been an honor to be your friend and watch you grow within the community. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Being the first comedian that we've ever had on here. And I hope to have you on as like a regular.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. I appreciate you too. This was a great talk. I got a little tequila drunk. I'm going to go twerk at a strip club. It's fun. That's how I actually make my money other than comedy. I go to a strip club. I get on stage fully naked and people give me a lot of money to put clothes back on. Good trick for all the chubby boys out there. Go do it. All right. This is great.
Love you, brother.
Love you too. Thank you.